Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session here live with me. I hope you're all well. I'm just going to go to the comments here a little bit. Rashekar ji, welcome. Welcome, sir. Okay. So there is, this is, okay, so Max G, this is not Varun's live. Okay. You're spoiling us with these impromptu lives. Okay, so what is the solution you propose? So he should not be doing any impromptu lives. Um, okay, so yeah, so Max GC, everybody is trying their best to, do their bit here in the movement. So, uh, the way he's conveying the message or the way he is speaking, you might not be able to identify, but please, let's just respect each other as a fellow SSRian, please. Just have a conversation with him when he's online and just have a chat with him, because sometimes what happens is you might be saying all this in good humor, but it might not get conveyed properly. So please, if Sachinji gets a chance to see this, you also please try to reach out to him. Just let's not. Okay, Surfing Award HT is here. Manjit ji, welcome. Ashok ji, Max. Okay, thank you, sir, for taking it in humor. Ravi Singh ji from Facebook, welcome, sir. Yes, Sachin is. Please, yeah, Shannon style, please. Uh, See that you we will Shannon ji and I think Max ji. Just let's see all sides of the coin before we decide, please. Thank you, Max. Yeah. Um, See, it might. He's just thinking. See, we have to give one another respect. Shannon ji, I'm thinking that maybe he's thinking in his whatever he's thinking aloud. At least we should all give each other space to have that freedom to brainstorm within ourselves as SSRians. So please, let's respect each other and let's try to see if the other person sees our point of view or it's okay. So let me just switch on the light. This is like kind of a sentimental light for me. Okay. So Ashish ji, welcome, sir. Okay. So Ashish ji here on SSR Diaries. So, sir, I have a few snippets of SSR's handwritten diaries. So I'm just, and his notes, and I'm planning to only talk about these. I am not interested in, unfortunately, in anything else. So one might take this up. I don't know about him, but this is what I am doing here, sir. Ashish ji, welcome. Marilyn Francis from Facebook. Alka Tiwari ji, thank you. Nice to see you back, ma'am. Welcome back from Facebook. What's new and what now? Okay, Ashok Ramji, nothing new. Just want to share a few things that SSR had in his own writing that he used to. Let me see. I'll just try to share this now, and you should be able to see it. Okay. So, what new Facebook? Where is Varun sir? Varun sir is probably at work in California. This is my slot, Marilyn G. So that's what I keep complaining to Varun ki. Whenever I come live, everybody is only asking about him. I'm like, "Main kya karu?" I should become a clone of him. Thank you, Shannon Ji. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for considering my opinion. I really appreciate that. Um, it also sentimental light? Okay. So yeah, it is kind of a sentiment. It's like I always think whenever I light the lamp or a diya in the evening, I think just please take away my ignorance and let us all usher light. So that is kind of a sentimental thing. I always want to try to stick to the truth and nothing else. So that's the idea behind it. It's a little anecdotal, if you. Okay, PMG, thank you, please, for all your kind comments. The topic here is SSR and his wonderful journals. And, even if we are able to take a page or a leaf out of his, it's just going to be epic. Um, So Ashok Ramji, we are just for now we are not going to be focusing on Subramanian Swamiji or his we have been asking about this question for the past 1 year, and let's see what's going to happen. Sent and sentimental, no sent, sir. So nice to hear about Sushant. Thank you. Okay. Ashish ji, let's just say I'm just going to stay away from your comment. Okay, Saloni ji, welcome, ma'am. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, Saloni ji. I'm just super excited that you had a chance. Guys, little notes on Saloni ji. She actually ended up going to Mount Blanc to light a candle to do the silent protest in front of Mont Blanc for Sushant. I think 3 days ago, 4 days ago now, over the weekend. And then, it was kind of a risky proposal for her, but I think she, Freeze, and Bharatji and all of them had a chance to meet each other, and that was just so electrifying. I'm so excited, Salmanji. Thank you. Share the StreamYard link. Okay, excellent. So, yes. Okay. The questions are getting a little more personal. Anamji, I'm going to share the StreamYard link. Do you want to say something? Guys, anybody wants to, definitely you're welcome to come and hang out with me here. But I'm going to analyze a few of his journals and just go over some of the topics here. Madeline Francis, yes, ma'am. I am from Andhra Pradesh. Thank you for your question. Yeah, as you can see from my English and my accent. Okay, Ushma ji, welcome, ma'am. Thank you for being here. Okay, I know, I remember you. Yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, Saloni ji, thank you. Okay, excellent. So nice to connect with you. Thank you, Ushma ji. Absolutely right here. Always excited to see the faces that come back. I always appreciate your footage. Thank you so much, ma'am, Ushma ji. Okay, so Ashok ji, I think there is some kind of confusion here. There is there are definitely a lot of rumors around his death. So let's just, the topic of the day is just to celebrate the inspiration and the innovation and whatever has come out of his handwritten diaries. That's what the topic is. So Haley ji, welcome, ma'am. Abhay, thank you. Just love your interacting with you, sir, on Spaces. I'm very excited you're here. Thank you. Soheli ji, welcome. Okay, so let's get this party started here. Just going to, anybody wants to join, and more than welcome to come and hang out here with me. So here, just want to, start off with showing a little bit of, okay, I'm not exactly sure if this writing is his, but I feel like I want to attribute it to his, thoughts. So he says, just like so many other meta thoughts of his, he says, when I was here, I found myself thinking about you. So he usually talks in paradoxes. He's just like, I'm here, but my thoughts are still with you, kind of a thing. So when usually in the context of technology, I see a lot of families, a lot of people, when they are in the company of their loved ones, they are tethered to their phone. They're doing anything else but to hang out with their loved ones. But here the beauty is, if we are able to understand that we can just be wherever we are in all our mindfulness, I think that is great. So this is one of the pictures I wanted to start out with. Okay, so a little bit of a hint about what is going to happen. Let me just so guys, everybody, please note that all these pictures are in the public domain on the internet, on Twitter, and everybody, if anybody owns these pictures, please let me know, and I would love to update the description and give you full credit, please. So I see these on the internet, so I pick them up on Twitter especially. So these are some of the diaries that Sushant was working on. And as you can see inside one of his projects, technology projects, the Pro Team, bioreplicator. I think biomimicking and all these biohacks that he was working on. And of course, his 50 Dreams, which went viral last year, unfortunately, after his demise, and SSR. I think these are all his self musings, all the quotes, and everything that he collects. So Sushant and SSR. So whenever I see this picture, I keep thinking maybe he's talking about the person Sushant and the actor SSR, or other way around. So he is SSR and he's the actor Sushant. So I keep wondering what he's talking about. So it's just so this is one of the pictures I would like to highlight here, and a little bit of whatever we have been able to see on the media and on the internet. I just want to introduce to you based on what I have been able to observe. So this is these are the diaries, and there are of course a lot of. So let me start with one thing, which is oops, what happened? 1 second. So if you see this note here, I just want to give you guys an idea of what is to come. Okay. So just read this out and I will explain how this is so paradoxical and how this is so, contradictory to what we, usually think about freedom. He's talking here essentially about the freedom to fail. So what he's saying is there is freedom waiting for you on the breezes of the sky. And you ask, what if I fail? Oh, but my darling, what if you fly? So this is Conversations with Erin Hansen. I am not sure if this is a book or he has had some conversations with with a lady called Erin Hansen. So the idea here is let's focus on what he's saying about in the quote here. There is freedom waiting for you. So often when we think about, so this is part of his, I think about how he builds his resilience and everything. And I see that he says, hey, until you fly, you would not know whether you will actually soar or whether you will fail. So he is challenging us to try out whatever we are thinking and we should just go for it, kind of a thing. So I just love this quote because it just challenges our limits, just like how he keeps pushing himself over and over again to be the best version of himself. And he writes here, there is this freedom that is waiting for us, but we are chained usually in our own preconceived notions that what if I fail, what if I don't achieve whatever I'm dreaming about. But he says, why not we just go for it and try it out, whatever we are thinking. What if you fail, right? That is the question that you have. But really, what will happen if you end up flying? So this is a beautiful quote. Just recommend you to please check it out once again. We will talk about it once again and how he builds his resilience and everything. So the next one is, I wanted to do this a little bit to test out my own. So who here can guess what is happening here? If you are able to see what, so he is always a person who was pushing himself to write with his left hand, write with his right hand at the same exact time. So I was giving myself a challenge to be able to read these two things. I mean, these lines all at once when I flipped it in the mirror. So I just wanted to show you this. He writes this to himself. This is a self musing that he writes to himself when he is 30 years of age. Okay. Unfortunately, a person like him is not going to live to see 40. That is our bad luck. But if you see, there's so much of wisdom stored in this, 30 years young man. So I'll try to read it as much as I can. I also have a cheat sheet, which is the original, which is here. Okay, I have it on the side screen, which I am reading from. I mean, only when I am not able to read, I'm going to read it from here. So he says, I think I spent 30 years of my life. The first 30 uh, trying to become, one second. Okay, become something. So he says, I think I spent 30 years of my life trying to, the first 30, that is, trying to become something. I wanted to become good at things. Sorry, this is things. So I tried. So, okay. I wanted to become good at things. I wanted to become good at tennis and, one second, and school and grades. Okay, so he says, I wanted to become good at things. I wanted to become, now he's specific here. I wanted to become good at tennis and school and grades. Okay, so here he is obviously mixing the capital letters with small letters, so that's why it's a little challenging to read here. But so, of course, I've practiced this quite a bit of time, so that's why it feels like it is easy for those of you who are trying this for the first time. So here he says about all the things that he has been trying to do to try to become somebody. And now he says, and everything I viewed in that perspective, he says, so you know what they say, right? Perception is reality. So you're always trying to achieve something, you're trying to become something, get good at, and everything. And then he says, I am not okay the way I am. I am not okay the way I am. That is what he is realizing now. But if I get good at things, so he's saying that right now I don't feel like I'm good. I want to get good at things. That is his perception till now. And then he says the ultimate realization happens, and he says, I realized I had the game wrong. This is the beauty, right? So many of us are always trying to be somebody else, impress somebody else, just strive to become something that they don't want to be. Okay, but he says at 30, he says, I realized I had the game wrong because the game was always to find out what I already was. So this is the beauty. This is the most beautiful thing here. So let's do this again. I realized what he does at 30 is he has been trying to climb up the ladder, do all these things, social hierarchy, do everything that people will impress others, like, strive for good grades, school, acting, like do everything that he will be perceived in the world as a great human. But then he says he has realized that he has the game wrong because the game was always to find out what I already was. So this is the beauty of this. And I just, for those of you who just want to, so this is what I was reading as a mirror image. I just wanted to do this because he loved so much to be able to write with both his hands, being an ambidextrous person. So I just wanted to push myself and push my own limits to try to read it. Here, a few places he has a few. In his cursive writing, I couldn't get it right, but then I had the original copy. So this is what I'm reading from. So if you can see once again, in 30 years, if you are able to create this kind of a wisdom, can you imagine what might have been? So that is the grief, right? In our collective grief, what we are grieving here is the loss of human potential. That is what we are grieving here. So, so let's just stay with this picture for a second. I think this is the first one I wanted to have. Yeah, just him. Okay, and now let's just, happy Engineers Day. Wow, okay, I'm just so happy that this happened to be Engineers Day, and I'm sure this would have been something that SSR would have celebrated. Don't hear a concert, but Ashok Ramji, there is no cause of celebration. Okay, so sir, respectfully, I disagree here. Because why is there no cause of celebration? There has to be a celebration in his legacy. So we are not celebrating the loss of potential. We are celebrating his. We are just getting inspired by his, musings and his thoughts and everything. So please, let's just debate. Don't worry. I don't want to negate anything you're saying. I'm just saying, okay, in spite of everything, we should be able to be here, right now, in all our mindfulness and just celebrate. So, Nirupen ji, thank you from Facebook. Dinesh ji, welcome, sir. How are you? Poonam ji, Saloni ji. Yeah, I mean everything, ma'am. I have at least 3 sessions planned on this. This is the first session, just a teaser intro kind of a thing. There's so many things that we have to talk about. It's just, yeah. Someone left. Okay, this is the main issue. Okay, sir. Ashok ji, I might have to block you if you just keep talking things which are irrelevant to the session. Sorry, sir, but I don't understand what you're trying to say. Okay, so let's see. Suryakant Rajapurji, thank you so much. And maybe read by many people. Okay. Bonami is here. Hello, friend. How are you, sir? Or ma'am? Yeah, exactly. Saloniji, you got it right. He's always pushing. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit here, about how I was able to, I mean, this is just my analysis, but if you are able to understand how he's talking about his life and how he was meticulously, so there's so many realms of thoughts that he had, and I'll just introduce all of these to you in just a second. Priyanka ji, welcome, ma'am. Soheli ji, cannot after whom he idolized once. Okay, so justice for SSR, excellent. Okay, excellent. So, yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so let's do this. I just wanted to explain to you how the journals and his notes and his diaries show what kind of a person he was. And here is how this is broken down into. So, basically, I see 2 categories here: complete optimization of the body and mind. So, he is constantly thinking about how can I become my best version. And there is another category that he is focusing on, and that is innovation. So in these things, the common theme that runs across in all these things is, let me explain with the blue. He talks in paradoxes. So it's like all paradoxes. Okay, he's just like paradoxes. So he talks in paradoxes. He's like, so I'll explain to you a little bit about what this paradoxes means. So he talks in paradoxes whenever he's working on his optimization techniques or his innovation ideas. He's always talking in paradoxes. So what does that mean? So in optimization, again, we have 2 categories. Okay, obviously body and mind. So in innovation, again, we can see that he is talking about personal growth. Personally, what does he want to do? What else does he want to achieve? He wants to go to Hollywood. He has a lot of personal goals. And at the same time, he is scaling up professionally. So he has all these ideas and personal goals. May he has like send children to NASA. Professional goals may he wants to go to Hollywood. Like there's so many areas that he is working on. So here, the person that Sushant was, I want to explain what I mean by paradoxes. His journals are always, if you want to understand if they are real, if you are analyzing any of his content, you're able to see specific patterns. Okay, so he's talking, he doesn't talk like a regular human being. Okay, so he doesn't talk like my right eye, my left eye is watching my right eye, like, there's nothing. It's just, okay, never mind, I'm not going to go there because it just is going to drive me crazy. Okay, so here what he says is, again, in paradoxes, what he does is, let me do the red pen here. Okay, so he is talking about the rational and the intuitive. So what this means is, he's talking about many different, it's like layered approach. You have to be able to just sit down and try to put all these things together. So for example, so in the rational sense, he is, so again his paradoxes are split because he's like, okay, yahan pe there is science. Okay, there is all these astronomy, all these real tangible sciences. That is what he's talking about. And here he's talking about something like metaphysics. Okay, so you see a lot of his conversations are around, like, his thoughts, and all the books that he's reading are about metaphysics. And if you want to see, they are going to explore the themes of spirituality, or actually, let's just do non-duality. Like, what is metaphysics at the end of the day? It's like this thing that deals with non-duality, spirituality, and all these things, the abstract. These are the concrete. He's always, if you observe, he's a full combination of the concrete and the abstract. That is the beauty. That is why we are just so smitten, right? Because he's like literally the full package. So what he does is, he's talking every single journal of his, like a note or whatever we find out, he's like talking in paradoxes. He's like something to do with science, tangible science and everything, and then he dwells into spirituality, the abstract, and he's talking about astronomy on one page, about stars, space, universe, physics, and real, like, algorithms and all those things. And at the same exact time, he's talking about some metaphor physics, which, like, with complete mindfulness, I am, all these meta, so all these meta thoughts that he has. I will show you some examples of all those things where he is just so but at the end of the day, all these are going to lead you to believe that he has some insights. See, he has been gathering some insights, and they are going to lead into some sort of innovation. That is where we are driving at. And he's going to use those insights to innovate. And how does he accomplish this? Is through actions. Basically, he has so many action oriented items on his list. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So this is how I have, guys, this is just my analysis. So please, by all means, if you have a counterpoint, or if you have noted anything else, please, by all means, you're welcome to just hang out with me. So broadly, this is how I will describe SSR's diaries, or his notes, or his journal. So if you see that it doesn't fall in any of these categories, and if it's just too specific, okay, so you have to think that they might not be SSR's original thoughts. So please, I'm requesting you to please use your rational brain to do the right thing. Okay, so here, let's just go back here, and I'll show you some more pictures. Okay, one of my favorite ones about paradoxes. Okay, so let's do this. If you can see this picture here, again, look at he says, okay, so he's doing this. It's just, again, one of his paradoxical, he's like, until you actually get down into the dirty, doing the actual task and everything. You cannot analyze what you have to experience it to be able to analyze where you went wrong, and then you have to get back into the dirty details once again to experience and keep getting better at it. So look at how he's saying that this is cyclical, and he's just not a man of just over analysis or overthinking like many of us do, but he is actually also action oriented. So this is one more thing that I want you to this is one of the notes at its very, very original form. And then he builds this into something which I absolutely love. I'll show you what that is. Okay. So this is the one that I'm talking about here. Again, let me zoom in and I'll zoom out. Okay. So if you see, once again, he is talking about experience and analysis, experience, comma, analysis. And look at what happens. When you zoom out, big picture, this is the beauty of it. I want to point out to something here. He's talking about, we talked originally a few minutes ago, we talked about the resilience aspect of him and how he's like trying to always think about the solutions and problem solve rather than get, bogged down by problems, right? So look at what he says here, how to solve problems. So what can we do to keep solving problems, and then he's like, he tells himself, there is no right answer, there are only better questions. So this is what see, as an educator, I feel like this is what I always request my children to do. I say that, hey, no question is a wrong question, because questions are actually teaching us that we are not just taking anything for face value. We are just debating, and because debating and questioning are now become, I'm not saying just for the heck of it, but something, a thoughtful debate or a thoughtful question is always appreciated. So here, so I don't, so this one I have to see a little bit of what he's trying to say here, but no curve, something like that he's saying in 0 to 1. I don't understand what that is, but again, he's like, problems, what is problems, why happiness and everything. And here he's saying, look at this. Analysis, okay, is it a success? Is it giving us happiness? Is it correct? And you are analyzing all the situations. You're wondering if it is a problem still. You're trying to analyze it. And when you experience, when you are analyzing and going back, trying something once again, it's like bliss, courage, brilliance, and divine. So what are these experiences you feel when you are right in the middle of the task? So that is something, one of his notes. And I just love his way of like problem solving for himself, because only when you put down, the fingers, even our fingers, when we are writing our physical notes down, they are, for example, let me just show you my own screen here. So yesterday I found out something about a connect tone. So what happens is, when I am writing, when I'm writing with these fingers, the fingertips have connections directly. These nerve endings are directly connected to the brain, right? So our handwriting is so critical, which has been developed over thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Now, writing on the notepad versus writing on the typing is not the same. So we have to be very careful about that. Note taking in the physical form is extremely superior, and it's not something that I have made up, but this is and years of our brain evolution has made us optimize ourselves for our note taking capabilities. So just make sure you're always typing, not typing, sorry. 1 second, I just want to check anybody who's here. Justice for Saviji, welcome, ma'am. How are you? World. Okay, thank you. Priyanka ji, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, absolutely. And this is how he created momentum for himself, right? Through his own words, through channelizing all his ideas and thoughts into and aligning them with his own vision. So absolutely. Yeah, singularity, non-duality. Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Not. I. Okay. Thank you. He was a rare gem. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Clara. I can understand your first name. I'm not able to pronounce your last name. Sorry, ma'am. Livia G. How? Welcome. Welcome, ma'am. Scientific. Mind is non-judgmental, seeing paradoxical aspects as not contradictions, undiscovered or as impossible, but apparently seen as possibilities and probabilities. Oh, kya baat hai. Okay, Priyanka ji, thank you for your comment. Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the aspects about him, right, Priyanka ji? The non judgmental part, especially when you see him in his interviews, you can see that he's deliberating, he's pausing before he answers. It is showing his keen sense of reflection. He wants to make sure that his answers are conveying the entire breadth and length of his thought process. So um, it's he's perceiving, he's using his perception rather than he's using his judgment. That's one of the things about him. That's what I just love about him, that he doesn't immediately judge any situation or a question or any situation. He just you know perceives it and like puts forward his points in a very factual manner. So thank you, Priyanka ji. Yeah. So Libya G, Priyanka ji, excellent. So let's go back here. So this is failure and about problem solving, how he wrote himself notes. So next we will go to just wanted to show you one of the things that I found. I took a screenshot of this gentleman who put this tweet out. So he says, just wanted to show you his handwriting here. It's an honor to be here, feels great. And this is his signature. And here, I'm not sure if he has gone to a Jaipur cinema festival or something. I'm not sure, but yeah. And somebody is saying that it was pleasure to have you at Raj Mandir. So this is not sure if this was an event or something. So just wanted to show you that. Just shows a lot of his notes also show gratitude. So that is, like, for example, once again, his gratitude is shown here where he says a big thanks for this amazing telescope and being so patient, making us all understand. Much love, Sushant. So he writes this to Galileo telescope and Nilesh J. And so he talks about he's expressing his gratitude. And can you imagine somebody getting a personal note from Sushant, and how they would have been so excited, the company and the person himself. So this is one of the things here. Let's see one more thing. I had one more note here, okay, about gratitude. Oh, no, this is not specifically about gratitude, but it's a note to somebody that he's writing. Love you, mere shadi shuda bhai. So just wanted to show that. And his smiley face on the signature. I do that all the time, and my kids are like, this is a school application, you should not do that. And I keep laughing. And when I saw Sushant, I was like, wow, there's some similarity. Yay. So okay, one more thing. Let's go back here. Yeah, one more notes I found. This was a screenshot posted on Twitter once again, excuse me, on Instagram, I believe. And then this is what I found. He is giving this book. I believe this is Shraddha Kapoor, one of our Nepo queens, but I'm not sure if it's the same Shraddha. But he says, genius is in the ways of seeing. How you choose to see is beautiful. So he's just asking us to, trust our perception and trust our the choices we make on how we see things. So once again, he's giving the book The Secret Principles of Genius. Considering by the condition of the book, I have a feeling that it might be his own personal copy that he's giving away to Shraddha, and this is dated here. And once again, he says, genius is in the way of seeing, how you choose to see. Again, here, if you want to talk about the choice, right? Once again, your choice to be happy or not is also up to you. So I like the word choice. And sometimes when I see rude comments or like rude, people being mean or something to each other. I'm like, okay, so in this situation, I want to choose to be happy. So let's just, move on from here, right? So that is a choice that we can all actively make. Okay, so that's that. We have few more slides to go. And okay, I wanted to show you this one because we are like talking about him writing. So we might as well look at a picture of his. It's not super. Let me see if you can see it. It's a little blurry, but it is one of his favorite quotes. And I think this is Henry Ford's quote, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody can correct me. But he says that he who thinks he can and he who thinks he cannot are both usually right. That is what the quote is here. So once again, wanted to show you a picture of him writing on a blackboard here. This is the quote from Henry Ford, which he says he's usually challenging. So basically what Henry Ford meant is that, it's all in the mind, what we choose to believe, whether it's in our capabilities, if we choose to believe in our capabilities or not. So it's a mind game that we often play. We're like, I don't know, maybe I can do it, I cannot, and all those things. So again, he who thinks he can and he who thinks he cannot are both usually right. So it is, once again, he's talking in paradoxes, as you can see. It's beautiful. So let's go back to, let's go to, he writes, okay. Okay, I like this note a lot because it gives an idea of, specifically I'm interested in, okay, this first line. I'm specifically interested, we are talking specifically about this first line here. Self-music, so the journal and its contents, okay, what are the contents of his journal are self-musings, pictures, daily thoughts, and all those are there on his journal. And if you can see paradoxical pictures, so maybe not exactly pictures, but the ideas, that's what he means. And then of course he wants to keep in touch with his brand associations, what are the timelines, talking to publishers, distribution network and structure. And because he says penguin here, and the brands, and I don't know what this brands and surrogacy means. If anybody has an insight, please let me know. But I think I would have believed. I mean, I hope the sisters will one day bring out all his journals as a beautiful diary of self musings for us to see, because that will be amazing, considering, maybe he was also in talks with somebody about how to, about getting his journal published. So, and look at how he talks about the contents of it, the paradoxical pictures, and his brand associations and publisher, distribution network and structure and all those things. So this is probably something that was there in the pipeline. I'm not sure. But as you can see, it can be a collection of all these things that he already has, literally his thought process in a journal. So that will be great. That will be one nice treat. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, one of the most important things I want to talk. Okay, so let's do 1, 2, 3. I'm just checking what all I have shown and what all we have to go forward with. So here I just want to highlight something that you are able to see here. It's a little blurry, but I will try my best to read it. Okay, so there is this Descartes, Rene Descartes, who used to be a philosopher, a social commentator, who who is very famous for "I think, therefore I am" kind of a quote. He's often attributed to that kind of a quote, and here he says that he's going to be he wants to be a neo Descartes. Neo is obviously new. He wants to be a new Descartes in the sense that he wants to be able to talk about his own mind in a metaphysical way. So it means that I don't doubt, I don't think that I am not you. And this is a little, we have explored this in our intellectual series as well. where he is talking about the physical aspect, the physical realm, the physical form of the world versus our mental perception of the world. So he's like, he wants to be a neo Descartes. That is what he's saying here. And it's a little thick, a little deep. If you want to get into it, it's you will have to read a few of these thoughts by these social commentators to try to understand what he's talking about. So basically, he's talking in a bunch of paradoxes here, and Rene Descartes is very popular for that. He's talks about how the mind works and how we perceive the outside world. Oh wow, she's so mean. Oh, he is such a terrible person. Oh, he's always out there to get me. She is always so nice. And all these perceptions of us, these are just, they might be far away from reality because we are not perceiving, we are at that point judging. So we have to be very careful with how we try to you know interpret. Okay, so oops, let me, okay, now, okay, let me see if anybody has any comments. Okay, Saloniji says, absolutely, Saloniji, you're right. Yeah, we definitely lost a precious gem, and imagination and ideas were limitless beyond boundaries. Absolutely, absolutely, very, very true. Journals can be applied. Absolutely, I agree with you. And all these, if we can just call it, and if we can get them published, man, that will be a real treat and an inspiration for the young folks. Absolutely, absolutely. So I have to keep reading every single note. I have to like, कितना कुछ तो है यार, मतलब just amazing. Now I want to one uh, thing here, and then I want to tie it back to what I was talking about earlier. Okay, so if you observe this carefully once again, so how Sushant is talking in paradoxes here. So he's like constantly saying that, let's, uh, he's talking about the physical world, he's talking about the metaphysical world, he's trying to draw parallels between them. He's talking about astronomy in one page, and he's talking about singularity and non-duality in the other, like, his just rare level of perception here, right? And here, in all his insights, you will also see that he's constantly, whatever he's learning, he's trying to innovate and create something out of that. And he's not just stopping at his dreams, he's actually a man of action. So how this is one of the ways that he shows how he's acting, and I'll show you. It's a very, very, oops, dude, let me close all of the pictures because it's okay. One second, let me just open the specific picture I'm talking about. If you see how this is full of paradoxes, I just love this. This is okay. So it's how he ties back everything, all his insights and innovation into action. So first thing is, he says, so here, value addition, self-musings collection. So I'm thinking that he's talking about putting his journal out there into the world for everybody to see. That is what I'm thinking this is. Okay, so again, this is an action-oriented step that he's doing. The next thing is, again, he always talks in paradoxical. So if you can see, so again, he says artistically mathematical. I'm not really sure what he's trying to, say here. Artistically mathematical is like, is he calling math an art, which might as well be art in his own world, because he just even makes physics and everything also look so beautiful, right? So again, we were just talking about the neo Descartes here. Descartes is a social anthropologist and a commentator, and he's like, years, decades ago, he was talking about, the way we perceive the world and the reality of the world around it. So he's like, I am you, you am I kind of approach. And he wants to be, I think Sushant wants to be a modern Descartes, combining all the insights and learnings to try to understand the world around him. And again, paradoxes, geniuses, and quirks. Quirks are like somebody that we don't take seriously, but geniuses are like, oh my gosh, we are like, wow, you are so, you're hero worshipped and everything, right? And this is one more beautiful thing here: metaphors and literals. So if you can see this, he is metaphoric metaphorically if you say something versus literally if you mean something. If you say, oh my gosh, I saw that joke and I died, so that is obviously a metaphorical, you're not literally saying that you died, right? So that's the difference between that. And then he says, obviously he is, he's all about astronomy and everything. And Sushant, for edu education, is also planning to send a few kids to NASA for their program and everything. So he is combining his vision, his innovation in action. And as you can see, UN Peace and Climate Initiative. I think probably he had something else in the pipeline. And yeah, this one. So if you see I strongly recommend you guys to please check out the Niti Aayog, interview, or like the panel interview where he just sits on the stage with a panel and he just talks amazing, climate change activities, or futuristic, like plastic pollution, like all these great initiatives and ideas for all these young college kids who come to see him. It's just amazing. So once again, Insai is one of his companies that he had created to be able to put all these ideas and policies and all this into action. So as you can see, just not a person of words and dreams, but action. So this is something that I just love to. Okay. So here, want to just leave you with some inspiration for the next few minutes. 5 minutes. I'll just show you how his daily optimization schedule was looking like, and we'll explore that in one of the other upcoming sessions, basically. So here, Suprova Nath, hello ma'am, how are you? Kash Sushant astronaut hota, to aaj bhi zinda hote. That is so true. But he's among the stars right now, Supravaji, where he wanted to be. So you just have to find comfort in that. But beautiful thought. Thank you. Thank you, Jolly G. Welcome, ma'am, from Facebook. I appreciate that. I appreciate your footage. Thank you so much. And here, I know. So, Priyanka ji, I have those screenshots as well. I'm going to share with you in the next segment. But basically, when I see this, I'm like, yaar, ye kya ho raha hai? I don't even understand anything. I'll have to, get a giant scientific dictionary and sit down with this. But of course, I did not attempt to do anything like that. I just took screenshots and just was happy to see what he was trying to figure out. So here for the next 5 minutes, guys, you guys are welcome to come and please explain if anybody is, willing to share their experience about looking at his journals and getting inspiration. Please, by all means, you're welcome. Thank you, Priyanka ji. Appreciate that, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah, Jolly ji, good point. Actually, he was working on something. That's what we know. He was also working on a video game. He was working on a lot of technological. He was one of the very first ones in 2018. He was saying that coding is going to be a language that the world will have to learn very soon. So, and he was that kind of a person. So, thank you, Priyanka, ma'am. Appreciate your footage. Thank you. Thank you. So here, what we are going to do is just a few pictures about how he was that kind of a person who would optimize his life to the extent just superhuman. Okay, so optimize. Let me see one picture. Okay, so this is what I see on the one second. Let me just go here. Okay, so let me just show you here what he has written on Instagram. And he says, of all the various approaches I've tried in the last few months, these meta skills have worked wonders with the best return on time. Okay, he says, if you want to live in a very optimal way, these are the few things that you will have to do. And he says 7 hours of optimized sleep, regular meditation, writing a journal, frequent exercise, optimizing digital time. Can you believe that he's talking about technology use and intentional technology use? So because that is the need of the hour. It is extremely important that we balance our online and our offline lives, because I know a lot of us SSRians are passionate about, and we are on this tweet storm from morning to night, which is amazing. But at the same time, we need to, optimize. We have other things in our life to do. Okay, so intermittent fasting, once again, to, even without any religious connotations now, intermittent fasting has become kind of a fad. Everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon, because it's just so, it optimizes the brain resources and helps our mind to become sharper. So all these things. And if you see, the word here he uses is, for the specific thing I wanted to, for the specific thing I wanted to explain to you, how he optimizes the body, right? Is he always calls it the eye of the storm. Okay, if you see this, eye of the storm. So what he is doing here is, what is eye of the storm? Eye of the storm is when you are in the middle of eye of the storm, you are in a very, very, very difficult situation. So that is what he's trying to say here, that all these things might be very, very difficult to do, but they are the secret for upgrading the quality of your life. So this is what I'm talking about when he does extreme optimization of body and mind. So that is how he used to live like a legend, right? Like just extreme optimization of the body and extreme optimization of the mind. So yeah, and he also doesn't keep it a secret. That is the beauty of it. He actually gives away all his secrets here, saying that this is how I upgrade the quality of my life. So you can see. So this is a little bit about how you can please try to optimize your own life. What are you doing in your own life to be able to optimize your life? So that is one more inspirational. Okay. So these two, I'll just leave you with these, and we'll talk more about optimization of body and mind in the next session. So look at this: wake up early, make your bed, read books, watch content, movies and series, learn guitar, work out, transcendental meditation, keep your surroundings clean and neat, learn, uh, play and repeat something and conquer. So that's what he's saying. So how do you optimize your life is by just becoming superhuman. How do you become a superhuman is by optimizing your mind and body. And this is what he did. So just wanted to leave you with a few tips here. So please, I want you to please question yourself every day. What are you doing to elevate your own potential? What are you doing to optimize your own body and mind? Ask yourself, is this the best that I can do? Just wanted to share a little bit about, so this is my diary. I mean, my handwriting is getting worse and worse. Of course, this is my 2016. I took a picture. So this, it is a bunch of to-do lists, things that I have to do, things that I've learned, articles that I've read, all my bookmarks and all kinds of things. And I also write in my own, so I plan to win the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2044. So I also wrote a journal that I want to, okay, let me zoom in here. So I say that in December 10th, 2044, I'm going to win the Nobel Prize, and this is how I plan to do it. And this is the speech that I will give. So it is up to you guys what you want to do. This is the, so will I end up getting the Nobel Prize? Nobody knows, but who is stopping me from dreaming, right? So that is the idea here. So I just wanted to share that, and let's talk more about optimization techniques. And please, if you haven't already done, journaling is a very, very good way of keeping track of where you want to be and how you want to thrive. So on this note, thank you so much, everybody. Okay, so let's just read. Priyanka ji, thank you so much, ma'am, for your footage. Jolly G, yes, coding. Yeah, he was already thinking much ahead of the game here. He was able to see, because he was so deeply connected in what was happening around him, he was able to visualize how coding was going to pick up and it was going to become the language of the world. So, um, yeah, absolutely. Saloni Ji, I was just saying the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. uh, yeah, he wanted to explore everything. He wanted to have an idea about everything. It's that is the beauty, right? If you hold yourself to some kind of a high standard with perfection and everything, you just are not going to be able to. Yeah, this is what I want to leave you guys with. Thank you, Shalit ji. Thank you so much for your footage. I appreciate that, ma'am. Wow. Okay. Priyanka ji, thank you. An alternative interpretation could be in the middle of or the eye of a storm, tornado specifically. There is stillness and quietness, maybe. Wow. Okay. 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 So basically, eye of a storm is usually, yeah, you are actually right in that sense that he is trying. Yeah, he's trying to find his own ground. He's trying to find his own stillness and his quietude in the middle of so much of upheaval and uncomfortable difficult challenges that he has put himself to. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely, he's trying to find his footage. I think I like your explanation better. It actually complements my explanation. Thank you so much, ma'am. Appreciate that. Calmness. Yep, absolutely. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of the evening and morning wherever you are. And until next time, goodbye. Let me just leave you guys with this picture so that you can see. Oops. Thank you, Soheli ji. Thank you for being here. Anybody else wants to please come hang out? You're welcome to. 5 minutes. What are your sources of inspiration as far as he is concerned? Have you learned anything from him about how to optimize your life? Okay, I don't know how to play the video that Varun plays. Let me try to play that if I can play it. Okay, I think I found it. Let's do this.